Yo, what's good, Stone Bible Study fam? Welcome back to the chillest corner of theology, where we spark up some wisdom and dive deep into the good book with a side of giggles. I'm your host, Rev Blitz, and tonight we're unpacking the wildest cosmic villain origin story, the devil. So grab your snacks, your stash, and let's get biblical, but like in a totally vibey way. Alright, let's talk about this devil guy. You're probably picturing a dude with a goatee, a pointy tail, and a vibe that screams, I ruin BBQs. But the Bible? It's got a way weirder, patchier story about how this character came to be. Spoiler alert, it's like a theological PowerPoint thrown together by a stoned intern. Let's roll a fatty and figure out who this devil really is. First up, the Old Testament, where things are murky, like my bong water after a long weekend. The Hebrew word, hey Satan, shows up, and it just means the accuser or the adversary. Not a name, not a guy, just a job title. Like, imagine God's got this divine HR department, and hey, Satan's the dude with a clipboard like, yo, God, let's stress test this job guy. Check job 1612. This accuser's just chilling in God's counsel, placing bets on whether Job's gonna crack. No horns, no pitchfork, just a celestial QA tester. Then there's this Lucifer guy in Isaiah 14:12-15. Sounds spooky, right? Nah, it's just a diss track against a cocky Babylonian king, the Hebrews Hillel ben Shahar, morning star, son of the dawn. Bro was flexing too hard, so the prophet's like, you're gonna crash, star boy. Early Jews didn't read this as Satan, it's just shade. But then the Latin Vulgate calls him Lucifer, and Christians are like, ooh, fallen angel vibes. Man, translations are wild. And don't get me started on Beelzebub or Baal. These dudes were just local Canaanite gods like the competition's mascots. 2 Kings 1:2-3 calls Beelzebub Lord of the Flies, which is honestly a sick burn. Israelites were like, yo, your God's trash. Yahweh's the goat. No devil here, just some divine trash talk. Fast forward to the New Testament, and now we're cooking with some spicy dualism. By Jesus' time, Jewish thought's been sipping on Persian Zoroastrianism and Greco-Roman ideas, so Satan's like, time for a rebrand. In Matthew 4:1-11, he's tempting Jesus in the desert, being all, yo, turn these rocks into munchies. And Revelation 12:9 ties it all together, calling him that ancient serpent, the devil, Satan. Boom, now he's the CEO of evil, running demons like a shady startup. The Greek word for devil, diabolos, literally means one who throws across or slanderer. So Satan's out here throwing shade and causing drama. Sounds like my ex on X. So how'd we get from a divine prosecutor to the pitchfork guy? It's like the Bible's writers were passing a blunt and decided to mash up all the bad guys into one. Baal, Beelzebub, Lucifer, that snake from Eden, they all get tossed into the devil blender. Why? To dunk on other religions. Early Jews and Christians were like, your gods, they're just Satan's sidekicks. Savage marketing move. By the time the church fathers like Augustine roll up, they're like, let's make this official. They glue all these names together, add some horns and a bad attitude, and suddenly Satan's the ultimate bad guy. But the Bible itself, it's more like, hey, here's some shady characters, figure it out. Honestly, it feels like they made the devil to scare people into church. Like a cosmic boogeyman. Alright, let's get deep for a sec, fam. The Bible doesn't give us a clear devil with a capital D. Hey, Satan's just doing God's dirty work in the Old Testament. Lucifer's a roasted king, Beelzebub's a dissed god, and the New Testament's like, let's make it dramatic. The devil we know, red, scary pitchfork guy, that's more medieval fanfic than scripture. Maybe the real devil's just fear. Fear of the other, fear of rival gods, fear of losing control. Christianity took all those fears, rolled them into a tight narrative, and sold it like a blockbuster. Or maybe it's just fun to have a bad guy to blame when you eat the whole pizza. That's a wrap for this Stone Bible study, fam. The devil's less a dude and more a vibe, a collage of cultural shade and theological flexing. Next time you're blazing and pondering, hit up Job 1 or Revelation 12 and see what vibes you catch. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the devil's real or just a scapegoat for bad decisions? Like, subscribe and pass the peace and maybe the pipe. Peace out.